is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra, $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RGX, $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
friends, Romans, and countrymen. Epic deals await you at Toyota of Hollywood. You don't have to battle to get discounts of up to $4,500. Your chariot awaits. A Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our arena where everyone is victorious at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJD EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2024 Acura ZDX, $299 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The Viewpoint point statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. The game is final. Tua and the boys are in the locker room. Let's go over what happened in this game in our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The post-game show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, Toyota of Hollywood, RM Contractors. The stats are final. The insiders are ready. The platform is mastered by the one and only Sean Stanley. Now, let's find out what the Big O thinks about this matchup as we start our Dolphins post-game show. Here's Big O.
Well, you know what I think about the matchup, because not that I did it, I kind of regret in a way, because I could have gotten some free Bitcoin, but I told you Patriots +2 was the easiest bet to take. And here we are. You know, I am not pissed. I'm frustrated because this has been going on for years. I'm frustrated because they don't meet your standards. They don't satisfy you all out there, all the fans that were at the stadium, fans that are paying for the ticket all over the world that are watching right now. They don't do what you deserve. I'm sorry, man. Got a little hiccups here. So they're not doing what you deserve. You deserve so much better. And every year they fail to deliver. And you know they failed already this year, right? I mean, you're really not going to sit there and lie to yourself about what's going on here, right? We're not going to do that, are we? The season's over. Okay? It is over. You don't have a coach that knows how to overcome adversity. I mean, the Malik Washington return it wasn't because he designed anything. Great effort by Malik Washington, and it happens. The touchdown by Achan with the amazing effort. You know, it's all on Achan. You know what I'm saying? There are times where he can design some plays and help you out, but so much throughout this whole game. So many penalties. There was a drive where it was so penalty riddled that you probably could have ended up with 7 instead of 3. And it's part of the results in this game. You know, we're way past this with Mike McDaniel. You know, I know some of you were still holding out hope. Oh, come on. Oh, he'll figure it out this year. Where's Ollie Gordon, bro? Like, at no point did you want to establish a real run. And God bless Malik Washington, but what is it about? Is it because he's a small stature? So he wants to prove that small people can actually do the job of big people. So we're going to put Malik and Achan, and we're going to run them a bunch, and we're not going to use Ollie Gordon. You know, it's kind of weird. Ollie Gordon touches the ball one time, he goes 8 yards. You know, it's just, I don't understand. And the penalties and everything. And, you know, that one interception by Tua on the 4th down, it was a terrible interception on Tua's part. Absolutely. No excuse. No excuse. But, and the defense, as I've told you guys, the defense will get better as the year goes on. Weaver will figure things out and play with the deficiencies that he has. Look, he's got young defensive tackles. Would you want him to dominate from day one? They're gonna make a transition. Okay, your linebackers, they're really good, but they're not great cover linebackers, and they're more pass rushers than anything else. And then on top of all of that, you have no secondary. You can attack this defense easily. Now, he was able to slow them down as the game went on. They got their early points, and then, you know, I think the defense will get better. The problem is that the Dolphins don't have that luxury. They're not good enough on offense to carry you while the defense catches up. And there was no way from day one you were going to watch this defense come together. So it's put together by, you know, very little money in that secondary. There's only one guy that you're paying. So they have deficiencies, and you can't expect this man to figure everything out right away. So this is not a good team. Folks, some of you out there, your expectations were unrealistic about the Miami Dolphins. This is why I'm not pissed. I'm frustrated, I'm disappointed, I'm sad, but I'm not pissed because I'm not surprised. I knew they were going to suck. I didn't expect. I was kind in telling you 7-10. I was trying to be kind, and so I said 7-10. You know, they've got some explosive players. Maybe they'll pick up a couple extra wins here or there. You know, some of you that were at 5, you're probably even closer to the number. This is a very thin team in a brutal sport, and it's got holes all over the place. And I expected a change with McDaniel. I just didn't expect it this soon. So, Sean, by the way, please keep up with everything going on Twitter, because I would not be surprised if they fire his ass today. Okay? I would not be surprised. And tell me if McDaniel made it to the podium. That's what I want to know. Okay? That's what I also want to know, if McDaniel's at the podium. These are things I need you to keep up with me there while we figure all that out, because we got some issues, man. Folks, don't forget, you can please make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo. I see the Super Chats. We love the Super Chats. Thank you. But YouTube takes 30%. So we always encourage Cash App or Venmo. You can send your questions there, comments, insults, all kinds of stuff. We'll read them and all that. But we get 100%. So that's why we always encourage Cash App or Venmo. We have the Super Chats, and thank you. We are blessed, blessed, blessed. Thank you so much. And please, we've got 1,100 people watching, 182 on the likes. Come on, man. How about we get to 500? Something we wish the Dolphins could at least get to. Well, you can't do that anymore in football, right? 8 or 9, 9 and 8. But how about 500 likes? We got 1,100. I can't imagine all 1,100 of you hitting the like button. That would be like super magical. That would be like lighting up a Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center or something like that, you know, to go to 1,100 likes just like that, because you guys could actually do that like that to one. But I don't expect that. I know some of you watch and you hate us or something. I don't know. So if you can, hit the like button. Come on, man. Let's get it easy to 500. Let's go. Hit that thing. Come on, get that counter going. Anyway, it's just, where do we go from here? Right? This is the part that as Dolphin fans, we sit here and we're frustrated because we've been at this for decades. Some of you are young, so you've been at this for a decade or two. Some of us have been at this for 4 decades. And let me tell you, this is my 35th year of covering football and sports. So my whole 35 years, I saw the better days of the end of Shula and Jimmy. They were better than this. You know, obviously I lived as a kid the really good Marino days, and I was a child when we won the Super Bowls. So I've seen the ultimate days. You know what I'm saying? But what we've been through in the last couple of decades, it's tough, man. It's tough. You want the light at the end of the tunnel. All of you right now, all 1,100 of you that are watching right now, every single one of you deserves a light at the end of the tunnel. You deserve to have hope, to feel like, okay, man, the team's really like what we feel right now about the Canes. We're starting to feel like, well, wait a minute, bro. They're physical. They're beating people up. They're running the ball down their throats. You know, they make life easier for their quarterback. All these things. And we don't see that here. What's it called? Mario's teams are making less of those dumb mistakes that they were making a couple of years ago. You're seeing progress. I don't see it here. You know, the Panthers, we watch them progress from a non-playoff team to becoming a playoff team to becoming a physical playoff team to getting to the point of becoming a champion and then defending that championship. So you went from layers and layers and layers. I'm not even worried about defending a championship, or you know what I'm saying, or even winning one right now. I'm actually like more worried about developing an attitude. Like Furones, he put some tweet out there. I forgot what it was. That well, if the Dolphins had this, that, and that, and I said, well, you're missing one thing: a desire, a characteristic of developing a run game. You have to have an attitude that you want to punch somebody in the mouth. You have a runner like Ollie Gordon and just don't use it. I don't get it. It just let me go pass happy. And there were times, listen, there were times where he designed some really nice plays. And I got to give him a lot of credit there. But the problem with McDaniel is there are just flashes. There isn't consistency. And that's what we need. We need consistent games where you don't have a bunch of penalties. Consistent games where you know where to line up. Consistent games where you can get the goddamn play in on time. Where you're not burning a timeout or something. I mean, the crap that goes on constantly. And if you get a play in with 10 seconds or 8 seconds or 6 seconds left on the clock, how does that help your offense and your quarterback when they line up? They have no choice but to run that play, and they have no option. If they have the wrong coverage out there for it, they can't even opt out of it. The things that Mike McDaniel does to put his team at a disadvantage on a consistent basis is baffling. That one drive, you could have easily gotten a touchdown instead of 3 points, but how many penalties are you going to commit on one drive, dude? It just gets ridiculous. So, and I know what we're going to get. Fire Greer, fire McDaniel, Rossell, Tua sucks. It's the broken record. I know that's what's going to happen and all that. Like I told you already, if anything you get now is only really a McDaniel firing. That's the only thing I think that you'll get now. You won't get the front office yet. That'll be at the end of the year if they make that change. Because if they don't, that means McDaniel was not his guy, as we've talked about in the past. But we'll find out. In the end, it's going to happen one way or another, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to happen. It is what it is. We can't avoid it because you can't control it, neither can I. Whatever we say or do, you can fly whatever stupid plane you want. None of that is going to make a difference. It's whether they can perform or they can't. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation, which we always appreciate that. Let's start off with Anthony Lizzie. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you, my brother. He says, blow it up, all of it, the entire football organization. Can you argue with the man? No, I cannot, because nothing's working. So I get it, man. Whatever you're pissed off at, you got to gripe, dude. Peter German, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. This is as bad as it gets for a Dolphins fan. No discipline, still can't get an effing play in on time. I know, 4 years in, and the guy can't get a play in on time. Do you know how incompetent of a coach you are? I'm so freaking tired of McDaniel. This whole week is just this last 8 days. Let me explain to you, me as a Dolphins fan, because some of you live this with me because you're on all the time, you follow it, and you know I'm living this right now, okay? All right? Sean, you lived it with me. Okay, so let's go back a year. It was the Colts game. We're in Indianapolis to broadcast. This is why this year we did not travel a whole bunch. We're going to Madrid, and that's it. They're not worth it, and I told you, and they're proving it to me. So we go to Indy. You know, we went to Indy, Seattle, Buffalo, L.A. last year. We traveled all over, thanks to Ray and our amazing sponsors that really make it happen, as always. Because without our sponsors, we're done. Without you guys, we're done. This is what I love about our platform. You guys are the ones that keep us alive. Watching, sending in donations, visiting our sponsors, and our sponsors keeping us alive. It's us. We're no corporations, bro. This is what I'm living as a Dolphins fan. Okay. Last year, Sean, they lose to the Colts. What did I want to happen right there, that moment? What did I want? Two things I wanted. One, Dolphins, and then I wanted them to make a move. What was it? You remember? I think, is your mic still screwed up?
No, I don't think it is. You wanted Mike McDaniel fired, and you wanted Vrabel as hired as the coach.
Okay, thank you. Now, look how fucking insane I am right now. I watch a year later my team lose to the same Colts team, and then I watch the guy that I wanted to replace Mike McDaniel with Mike Vrabel, and now I watch Mike Vrabel beat my goddamn team. This is what I gotta live. Common sense. Mike McDaniel can't goddamn coach. Your team's pretty damn good. You've actually had talent come through here the last couple of years. This moron can't ever maximize anything. Fire his ass. Bring Vrabel in. Why? Because if you do it in the middle of the year last year, guess what? Nobody else gets to Vrabel. Now, a year later, here's Vrabel with the Patriots in our division. Like, this is like insanity for me, dude. Like, insanity. No, what my team does, they extend Mike McDaniel. Like, where does the owner and the front office see that you extend Mike McDaniel for what? And now it's the same owner that extended Joe Philbin. This owner. So that's what I'm living now. That's what I'm living. A year later, I watch my team lose again to the Colts and in a bigger embarrassing fashion. And then I have to deal with the guy that I wanted as my head coach, coaching for the team that I hate the most, the Patriots, Jets, or Bills. He's coaching the freaking Patriots. It just pisses me off, dude. Adam Pink, sir, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. He says, I agree with everything you said in the offseason about Miami, but I am absolutely furious right now. Vrabel could have been on our sideline. He coached his way out of a sloppy game. McDaniel did not. It's embarrassing. There's no need to wait for the Buffalo game. Fire McD. I agree. Sean, has he taken the podium yet? McD. Because I don't know.
Tua just started.
Okay. All right. Interesting to see what happens there and what he says. Peter German, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Thank you, Adam. Say hi to the wife, Adam, for me. Peter says, just a few scratches. Number one, why was Willie Gay held out until late in the game? I mean, he made a play. Let's not get crazy. Maybe he'll make another. Maybe he won't. And when he makes bad plays, nobody will mention anything. Willie Gay is not saving your team right now. Okay. Why was there no commitment to the run in 90? I don't, you know what, Peter, we should be already used to not having a commitment to the run. The day he commits to the run is the day we should be shocked, actually. But I can't answer that, dude. The guy has no common sense. Why waste timeouts when you're moving the ball and have New England on the heels? It's McDaniel. Why waste money in players you refuse to use? Yep. And it's like the front office adds them, and then, hey, they started adding the big receiver. What a concept. Joe Cracchiola, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Big O, here's the next statement I want to hear from the Miami Dolphins. Mike McDaniel and Chris Greer have been fired. I say tanks for Francis Mauigoa. I say tank for Francis Mauigoa. Love the show. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joe. And thank God for the Canes. Rob Erickson, thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash App, or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App, or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, or Chainlink donation. Rob says, at least we played this time, but I have no clue what we should do. Appreciate you and Sean. I know that they should fire McDaniel because he does not instill any kind of confidence in this team. Rob, thank you, sir, for supporting Sean and myself. Jeffrey Anthony, Big O, I'm ready for a top-down rebuild, but I do believe Greer constructed the team McDaniel wanted, small and fast. Greer's biggest mistake was hiring McShithead. This team is so undisciplined, I can't watch this team anymore. If it was his hire, that's the part I'm still not convinced if it was his hire. If he gets fired, then it was his hire. If he doesn't, something's going on. Reginald Stambaugh, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Need a dress to send 70s horrible hanky for Man Cave. You're a fucking stud, bro. I will. I'll let me, after the show, Reginald, I'll get back to you, okay? You got it, man. Thank you. Wow, that is awesome. That's an honor to have a horrible hanky here. I remember we had several in the house. I had season tickets and all that. But, of course, you're a kid. I lost my cards, my comic books. Oh, God. I had the first Fantastic Four. I had like, I think it was like, was it like Spider-Man number 8? Yeah, I had some really nice comic books and I lost them too. It sucks. Cards and comic books I lost. And then some of that paraphernalia stuff, hankies and other things like that. Just brutal. It would have been great to have it here. And thank you, Reginald. That is very nice of you, sir. Wow. Kind. I love that. Thank you, sir. I'm going to send it to you. John Nazaran. I hope I pronounced it right. He says 4 more days of McDaniel and hopefully Greer era. Obviously, holes on the roster again is Greer. Slow and bad play calling, no game management skills is McDaniel. Goodbye to yet another wasted error. It is. It is. He's right. It is a wasted error because you brought in some really nice players and you really couldn't maximize it. And it really sucks. Thank you, John. Appreciate you. Thank you for the love on Venmo. Ramon Martinez. Ray, thank you, sir. Happy Crypto Sunday, always. Won't be surprised his last day will be this Thursday. When he loses to Buffalo, the team will try, but very sloppy in play calls and penalties that kill the drive. Unfortunately, it falls on the coach. By the way, nice dip on crypto. Yes, sir. We do have a nice dip on crypto. Thank you, Ray. Rob, again, a second time around. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you again on Venmo. I want to know the penalty stat for not getting the play on time under McDaniel. Isn't that amazing? For 4 years, this guy can't get a play in on time. 4 years, this guy can't get a play in on time. It's really, let's be honest now. That's unacceptable after the first year. It's like something you need to cut out, and that's it. It's over. But how many times with McDaniel? Well, as long as we don't make the same mistake twice. Dude, you make the same mistake 800 times. Peter German, again, thank you on Venmo, sir. Very, very much love. I appreciate it. Bottom line, Stephen Ross is the problem. Maybe a great businessman, but sucks as an owner. Winners don't wait years to make changes. Thanks for always for all you do. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you. And listen, that's a legit gripe. Stephen Ross deserves the criticism. Those are the facts. The great Jack Rodan on Cash App. For everyone, McD can't even get plays in on time. Sad, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Yes, sir, Sean.
Tua in his press conference says on operational issues, I'm going to have to go have a conversation with Mike and Daryl Bevel and the players. Anyone who knows football knows it was not clean. It was not right. We have to get it fixed. That was sent out by Joe Shad.
Dude, Tua was part of a pro team before he came to the pro team. You guys know that, right? You guys know that he was part of a pro team before he got to a pro team. Alabama. At Alabama, they run like a pro team. They got plays in on time. They had a real running game, a real offensive line. And so when he comes to this, where the first coach was trying to sabotage him, and the second coach sabotages him indirectly. I just realized that. Tua, his first coach was an obvious saboteur. Oh, he's a rookie. Don't worry. We'll hold out. Let's give him a couple games. Yeah, he'll be ready to go for the Rams. For the Rams with Jesse Davis on the line. That's when we'll start Tua. And then you have this guy now who can't get a play in on time, can't stick to the running game. Finally, he got a big receiver involved, which I see a big receiver for them called Mac Hollins that should have never left here. Don't get me started. Anyway, so this is a guy that actually indirectly sabotages all his quarterbacks. As I've said over and over again, Skylar Thompson, he had him around for 3 years and didn't know he couldn't play. Tyler Huntley, when he started him, he kept Tua's offense. And he didn't change till the 4th week. Not even common sense tells you, hey, make more of a running option offense for him, change it right away. He didn't. The first week he tried to run it, he couldn't run it. Does McDaniel change? No. He'll come back again with it because he is stubborn as a mofo. Mike Gesicki can play just fine in Cincinnati, make plays, get a contract extension, be really productive. Here, McDaniel couldn't use him. Even though you watch him make that play against the Ravens in the middle of the end zone up in the air, and you're like, wow, our midget receivers could never do that. That never crossed his mind. The saboteur, it never crossed his mind. So now we got to talk about it 4 years in. I think it's a little late to talk about it. I think it's a little late to talk about all of this stuff already. I think we're way past that, bro. Way past that. Nivaldo Prieto Jr. Fire McDaniel. Thank you, Nivy. Appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for the love on Cash App. Thank you. Lenny the Locksmith. Thank you, Lenny the Locksmith. I appreciate you, sir. Fire this coach. I wish they would, man. I wish they would. I really wish they would. And I don't know how they haven't, to be quite honest. I really don't understand it. So to me, maybe you hold out this week because it's a short week and you know that he'll get fried in Buffalo and then you've got a 10 days. And so, okay, let's not kill Weaver on a short week. Let's just deal with it this week. We'll deal with the embarrassment. We'll go 0-3 and then we'll make the change. Maybe that's what they're going to do. I don't know what to tell you. But you know what's the sad part is that you and I have to go through this dog and pony show when we know what the end result is going to be. And that's the part that's a bunch of horse shit. Ariel Rodriguez, thank you for the love on Venmo. A North Dakota fan, a Finns fan out there. He says, what a bad weekend for me. Oh, no, wait a minute. I think he means Notre Dame fan because Notre Dame lost, didn't they? Did Notre Dame ended up losing? Because he said ND fan. I think Notre Dame lost. I'm not sure. Says, what a bad weekend for me. What can we do to reset the Finns? A-Rod. Dude, it's an attitude and a reset. And we've been at it for 45 years. Until somebody takes over that says, we're going to start the base of our offense. We will run the ball, whether you like it or not. So our quarterback will play off of that. We got no shot, dog. So whoever takes over needs to have the attitude Shula didn't want to have. And, to Wani's credit, he had it. He was too conservative. But, I mean, the commitment to the run, it's crazy, right? I need at least my coach to have a one-stat commitment to the run. Okay? Because he's the one that had Ricky and Lamar in his stretch. Son of a bitch at least understood that part. Okay? He couldn't figure out the quarterback. God bless Jay. He tried his best. Jay wasn't good enough. He did the best he could. He couldn't find a real stud. Obviously, the Drew Brees mistake was a big mistake with John Avery and then passing up the second time around. So all those things are part of the history and all that. but Wani understood the dedication that you have to have to the run. To his credit, at least I give him that. Because freaking JJ gave me Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, bro. The 1-yard touchdown specialist. You know what I mean? That wasn't what I really wanted. At least Wani had that. Okay, I don't want him anywhere else with the team. He was too conservative for my liking. He couldn't find a quarterback, all that other stuff that kind of hurt him, unfortunately. But to his credit, we have to compartmentalize this stuff, right? Sometimes, and if there's a characteristic that I want to peel off from Dave Wannstedt and give it to whoever is the next Dolphins coach, is dedicate your ass to the run game, bro. And and use big runners too on top of all of that. You can't be using midgets. I don't know. There's a Napoleon complex with our offense. McDaniel is at the podium, so he is employed for the moment. So maybe we start with the next couple of days as a countdown. Rise Taylor, thank you for the love on the Venmo. Unpopular opinion, Tua doesn't suck. He's not all of a sudden a bad QB. He does seem to have lost all confidence, which is strange because he usually has plenty of confidence. As much as it hurts me to say, this Thursday could be the most embarrassing night in Dolphin history. Yeah, maybe he's got no confidence in the offense and how it's being run and everything, and that's what's happening in front of us. And the offensive line breakdowns. Look how the game ended on a sack. I mean, Larry Borum, dude. Larry Borum. Come on, dude. Larry Borum. Seriously, Larry Borum. That's what we're doing. Of course you're going to lose. Thank you, Rye. I appreciate you as always, Rise Taylor. You are awesome as always in supporting us. Michael McCormick, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. Waiting to hear breaking news from Adam Schefter. Miami Dolphins fire Mike McDaniel Friday. Can't get here fast enough. And I understand that a lot of you are waiting for that. I get it, man. All right, let's start with the super chats, my friend, because I know that there's been a bunch, and I appreciate you all out there as always. Let's start off with Kopitar, I think it says, was drinking the entire game, unwatchable otherwise. I get it. Some of you have been on dates like that. Next up, thank you, sir. True Fin fan. The needs to happen so all can go. Oh, this needs to happen so all can go. Yeah, you guys want an organizational enema. I get it. Fans want blood. Let's see who's next. Thank you, True Fin fan. Brett Franz, Hans and Franz, and I'm here to pump you up. I've defended Tua since day one. I'm done. He's not it. He always folds when we need him the most. New coach, new QB, new everything. Tear it down now. He's Franz, and he wants to crumble it down. I'll say it. What the hell? I hope they trade Tua. Yeah. Not for the hate that you guys have and not believe in him. I hope he goes and lands somewhere where they actually understand the run game. And they put him behind a line in a run game. And everything will be completely different. So I'm at a point where, since it's not going to work here, poor kid's going to die here. So trade his ass. And somebody maybe will give you something for him. And, next year probably. And you try to move him and see if, and see if he actually has success somewhere else. Because it would be so Dolphins, wouldn't it? Right? I mean, we passed up on Drew Brees twice. The football gods might have been saying, well, here's another Drew Brees. Do you guys know what to do with him? So, I don't know. We'll see. At this point, where Tua is at, since it's so toxic, right? The best thing for him would be to go to another organization. Yeah. Definitely would be considering the two coaches that I've dealt with and I'm Tua, both guys are saboteurs, one directly, the other one indirectly. I'm Tua. I don't want to be here at all. I want out. I don't want to be part of this organization. I mean, they're the ones that have screwed up for 45 years. He won a championship. It's not like he hasn't won. He's won more than the Dolphins have lately. So, you know, I am rooting for Tua's departure from the Miami Dolphins for completely different reasons than you guys. Okay? For all you haters out there, you want him gone? Fine. I want him gone too. I want to see him in a real team, on a real offense with a real coach. You know, does he have Matt LaFleur and what they have in Green Bay with 2 running backs and 2 tight ends? No, not at all. So what the hell, bro? Does he have like Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota? Offensive line, run game, weapons, great play caller, all of that? No. It's all right. So I'm good with that. Maybe there's a good coach out there that, you know. What do you got, Sean?
This is from Marcel Louis Jacques. He said, McDaniel said he got the play call in on time. Prior to the Dolphins' delay of game penalty, said he has to do a better job of supervising all of the orchestration within our multiple personnel groups. He went on to say, I'm very frustrated. There's some coaches and players that did not execute communication with the game on the line. Our communication and substitution was not at the par, but ultimately, I hold responsibility for all things.
You're so full of shit. Yeah, right. I'm just tired of the excuses, and that's never going to get corrected, bro. We're 4 years in, dude. I don't want my coach explaining to me why he's a constant screw-up. And by the way, if he was as effective as our listeners, did you see this, Sean? Our likes are at 555. I asked for half of the 1,100 that were there. We're down to 1,000 now, so some people have tuned out. And you guys came through in a big-time way. Thank you, man. That's a lot of likes there. I appreciate that big time. That is awesome, 555, man. Damn, that is fantastic. Let's go. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much. Next up, Sean, what do we got? I don't know what the hell that is, like AO102 or something. 2 punts in 2 games versus bottom 10 offenses. Yeah, it's a bad defense, dude. This is they don't have a good defense. And thank you for the super chat. This is not a good defense. It wasn't going to be a good defense. What it had potential was of a good pass rush. But if you run on them, you'll slow your pass rush. If you throw on them, you'll slow the pass rush. So they're not going to hold the ball. If they do, then Chop and other guys will get to them. They'll get a couple sacks. But they're not going to hold on to the ball against this defense. They're not going to let the pass rushers get to them. So they're going to get rid of it super quick, and they don't have great second. And their linebackers aren't great cover guys either, by the way. Let's get honest here. Let's be honest. Dolphin linebackers are not good in coverage. Next up. It'll get better, but it'll take a while, and the season will be over by then. Jack, the great Jack Roldan. Hope the family's well, my brother. Pathetic. Plays coming in late. Penalties, sloppy. McD can't even handle basics. Not feeling inspired by Weaver either. Ross should clean house. Enough. Yeah, but right now you got to go with Weaver because you got to get by. You got to get the malaise of McDaniel out. That's why. You get what's it called? The QB coach, Bevel, to become the offensive coordinator. And then I forgot the dude's name that's right under Weaver. You make him the D coordinator. And I think Weaver will be better at managing people and managing the game at least, and give them a chance and find out if you have something. If you have nothing, you'll know at the end of the year. But right now, you know you have nothing in Mike McDaniel. Next up. It is he is the remnant 0-3 after next week. Get rid of Austin Jackson after the season. Last 2 plays of the game, Tua was, we can't say that word anymore, runs out of bounds for no gain and takes a sack. Yeah, why not throw it away? What was with that? Do you not want to hurt your incompletion percentage? Next. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Next up, man of 1,005 holds. It's Tua time with an interception. Mike with his boneheaded play calling adjustments. Mike, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Congratulations, 0-3 Dolphins. Yeah. Although you're going to have there's going to be a Dolphin of yours, a friend of yours, right? This because no, bro, come on, man. You got to have hope that they can surprise Buffalo. They'll be underestimating them. That's what some people were saying at the beginning, at the offseason and the preseason. Oh, no, Miami's probably going to have a good year. You know why? Because so many people are counting them out. Oh, yeah, no, of course. Yeah, that's it. That's the perfect reasoning. That'll really carry you. Come on, bro. Next up. True Fin fan, not pissed either. I expected this. Yeah, I know you did. I know you were realistic enough throughout the offseason with me on this. I'm just frustrated and depressed and disappointed and all those kind of things like you guys. But I'm not pissed. I'm pissed that you're keeping McDaniel around. There is what I'm pissed, because it's not fair to the players to have that guy around. Next up. Let's see. What do we got? It is no doubt. Ollie got 1 carry for 8 yards. That was it. Well, see, no doubt. See, here's the problem with your thinking, bro. Okay? In order for you to become a runner for Mike McDaniel, you must average over 11 yards a carry. So, Ollie got 1 shot, 8 yards. Sean is 8-11. No, right? 8 is not 11. There you go. These are the rules. I don't make them up. Mike McDaniel makes them up. You got to average 11 yards a carry. Poor Ollie Gordon, only 8. What a bum Ollie Gordon is. Only 8 yards. Why would I try to run him again? It was a beautiful 8 yards right in the middle. He punished like 2 guys in the tackle. It got me super sexually excited. And then after that, that's it. I got blue balled. So what are you going to do? Next up. What do we got? John C. We are cooked. Trade away some players. Change the regime. Bleed out this infection. Cooked. Miami Dorados. I'm sick of this. Fans in 71. I'm with you. Well, I already told you in the offseason that the Tyreek and Chubb trades, and by the way, Chubb has 2 sacks in 2 weeks, does he not, Sean? Yeah, baby. Bradley Chubb is pulling a Miami Marlin. Yeah. That's what the Marlin players do. They play their way off the roster because when you play too well, they got to pay you. And they're, we got no money, man. No money. We are weak. No money at full stamp. So unfortunately they can't pay and they play their way out. So Chubb now get a bunch of sacks for us. Trading deadline. You're not keeping Chubb long term. You're going to release him anyway. So on the trading deadline, Tyreek got his 30-plus yard catch. Chubb got his 2nd sack, showcasing, picking up a couple of extra picks for the offseason. I'm trying to spin it for you guys. I'm trying to give you a light at the end of the tunnel. And by the way, this is nothing new. If you're one of the 1,000 are watching, this is nothing new. I've been talking about the whole offseason that Chubb and Tyreek will be traded by the deadline, not in the offseason with the whole Tyreek stuff and all these idiots that now caught up. Oh, the Dolphins don't plan on trade. Yeah, we know that, asshole. Yeah, we know that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Maybe if you tune into this show, you might find out what is actually going on with the Dolphins. Anyway, that's the good news. Chubb is building up that trade value. You need a receiver, and you need a pass rusher. Those are valuable things to playoff teams trying to make that final push. Miami is going to have 2 trade pieces that will bring a pick each, maybe 2. Who knows? Chubb's a quality human being, so somebody might give you actually some decent, and he's a pass rusher. And he was having a hell of a year when he got injured, and so far he's come back. As they say when it's a great song, a banger. And that's what he's been doing. Next up, it is True Fin Fan. How long have I said 6-11? Bet the under. Yes, you were stuck with it like Band-Aid stuck on you. No doubt about it. You have stuck with that. Next up, bang on head. Why don't you change it to bang your head? Right? Yes, sir.
It's bag on.
Yeah, it should be bang your head, bro. Quiet riot. Not bag on head. Anyway, I'm writing to tell you all of the things I like about this Dolphins team. Bye. That is awesome. That is awesome. Have we come up with like a celebration drop for something like this? Because that is, do we have something to celebrate? A great one? Because that was good. That was good. Next up. Corso, thank you, sir. Sorry, but I can't support Tua anymore. That's fine, bro. That first possession throw that should have been an INT, he can't get in spite of the talent around him. That's fine. That's right. I hope they trade him too, bro. I hope they trade him too. I hope he goes somewhere else. I really do. I really do. I'm with all of you. I'm with the haters, except I'm rooting for him somewhere else. You know, really. I hope they trade him out of here. So do I. Next up. Alex 305, 2 punts in 2 games. They are all bad in all aspects. Yes, dude. It's a bad team. But you should have known that. We kind of warned you that this would be a bad season. If you thought this was a playoff team, you are absolutely out of your mind. Jadeveon Clowney is signing with the Cowboys. All right. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Don't forget, Subaru of Pembroke Pines is a proud sponsor of our program. They're at 16100 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Alan does a great job out there managing it and does exceptional work, man. And let me tell you, as a customer, you will love it. The 2025 Forester right now, $257 a month, 2.9% financing. They got 0 down, sign and drive. The Outback right now, $247 a month, 0.9% financing, sign and drive, 0 down available also. And by the way, Subarus are also built here, so you're going to save the tax money that they have from the tariffs in other places. The Crosstrek, the 2025 model, $197 a month. They got a great selection, 2.9% financing there. The Legacy, beautiful sedan, 4-door, 3.9% financing, 0 down, sign and drive also. So tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. And if you mention my name, use the QR code, or you go in person, mention my name, you'll get $500 off at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. All right, Sean, what do we got next? Stanball Law, thank you, sir. He says, what about putting in Gruden right now? Use rest of the season as practice. Has an NFL team even hired an ex-coach this early, not just an interim? And I saw the Venmo, and thank you. We read it, and thank you, sir. I am not a Gruden guy. I don't buy Gruden at all. I think Gruden is a waste of time. I think Gruden's a fraud. I think Gruden got lucky in Tampa with the generational defense in that 1 year, and then everything got darker and darker and darker while he was there. I just know a lot of stories, and they're not good. So I am not a Gruden guy. Not a Gruden guy by any stretch. So that one, we will have to part ways on that one. I would rather keep it in-house to keep the continuity with Weaver, and then find out what you got. Maybe you got something, maybe you don't. And then at the end of the year, you're going to have one of the top picks in the draft. You'll be in control. You'll have extra picks.
you'll be in a better shape right now. You know what I'm saying? But what you can't do is keep McD around much longer because it's just going to be too deflating for the team. Next up, Sean, what do we got? AZ, another year of what would you rather be? What would you rather be? Mike McDaniel or Beer Lambier's inner? Thank you, AZ. Next up. Oh, man. Ozzy. He says, the last drive, McDaniel screwed the offense so bad. What a complete joke. Now, Tua did the team no favors, but McDaniel handcuffed him. I'm so pissed. I bought tickets to Monday night's game. Hang in there, man. It's he handcuffs all his quarterbacks. I mean, McDaniel's so bad that Skylar Thompson forgot how to hand off. Next up, it is Ernie D. Big O, always ahead of the Dolphins curve. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And thank you for hanging in there and supporting the hell out of us. Next up, it is Mateo. Haven't heard from you in a while. Bet the house on the Bills. But how many points is it? Is there an early line already? Well, no, the Bills haven't played yet, right? So there can't be an early line, right? The Bills haven't played, right? Were they playing at 1 o'clock?
Yeah, they hammered the Jets, I believe, this earlier.
Did? Yes, 30-10. You are correct. Okay, so there could be an early line out there right now. It's got to be over 8 points, I would say. 7.5 to 8, 8.5, 9. I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that. All right, next up, Sean, is it is Adolfo. I bet the change is coming if they fire Anthony. W, don't be surprised because it does make sense. I mean, listen, what you can't do is stay with the status quo. It makes no sense. They wanted just cause. You're getting it now. You couldn't fire him in the offseason after extending him and the disaster of all the defections and everything that went on. And that wasn't a confidence in that locker room. But now you've got just, and you can do it. Yes, sir.
It looks like the odds range from 9.5 to 10.5.
Wow.
For the Dolphins opening right now, it looks like.
All right. There you go. We played them tough sometimes. All right, next up. Adolfo, we got that one. Next up, it is Toby. Seller invisible both weeks. What the F? Well, but did you expect him to play at all? And he's talking about the tight end. I mean, Waller is what you're saying. But yeah, well, this was a waste.
Sealer. He's talking about Sealer.
Oh, Sealer. Oh, he's talking about Sealer. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. You got, that's the guy you worry about. So you scheme for him. You don't worry about the rookies. You can handle those guys one-on-one. You know, they've got to prove themselves. They're all learning right now. Their heads are spinning right now. This is not preseason anymore. So that's where you got to get. I'm telling you, this defense will get better as the year goes on. Problem is, it's so green and so new to a lot of people, especially that entire secondary, that it's going to take time for him to figure who's who, what's what one guy excels and what they don't in his system, that by the time they figure it out, the season's over. But because your offense is not good enough to carry you to make up for some of that, it compounds the problem. So right now, the defense is going to look like it did last year. It didn't look good at the beginning, and then it got better and better and better as the season went on, and he allowed less and less points and all those kind of things. So I kind of expect the same thing. The only problem is the season's over already. So by the time the defense gets better, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? Next up. Birthday salami. How long until Ross decides McD is too hip hop? Great term. Your guess is as good as mine, my friend. It's disgusting. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. And remember, you can send in your questions, comments, and insults there too. We will read them. Next up, Sean. No, hey, birthday salami. You can't absolve Greer for what's going on with the O-line, everything else. I agree. And Larry Borum. I agree. Nope. Listen, nobody can be defended right now. Nothing is working. It doesn't matter that I'm a Greer fan. Okay? I'm wrong right now. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. You know me. I don't sugarcoat a goddamn thing. Okay? But I'm not going to also make excuses for it if it's wrong. And right now, nothing's working. So I get it. And whatever you guys want, including Tua, I understand. Next up. It is Johnny. Here's Johnny. Saban redemption makes way too much sense. Give him 1 year with Tua. If it doesn't work, have him pick his guy. Yeah, Saban is not a pro coach, my brother. Johnny, I really appreciate the super chat, but Saban is not a pro coach. He doesn't know how to handle pros. He handles pros like kids, and you can't do that. These men will not put up with his bullshit. So I'm sorry, dude. That's just not going to fly. Next up. Stephen Rowell, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Appreciate you. Finn's dad, if Greer, Allen, and McDaniel are fired, who would you want to be the next GM and head coach for the next season? We got it. First, it has to happen. And then I need to know who's available so we can have that conversation. I don't know who's available yet. I haven't even looked into that yet. I'm just thinking about getting through this season right now. I'd get rid of McDaniel and ride Weaver for now. That's what I would do because I think Weaver is the number one problem for 4 years on this team from the first year when he forgot the down against the Bills in the playoffs. That was the sign that he wasn't the guy. So I don't like playing the hypotheticals because there's nothing of substance to talk about right now. We don't know exactly who's available, who will become available, who's the hot new GM, assistant GM. I don't know who would be considered the hot coach. Wait till the whole season plays out because then that develops even more. These are things I can't answer now. It's great for those shows that never have anything to talk about, so they just do hypothetical bullshit constantly. But not me, dude. I talk about stuff that's actually happening, so I don't do that hypothetical stuff. I'll wait for it to happen, and then we'll address it. Thank you. Next up, it is Steven again. At least we got the Canes until Mario's conservative. No, he's done with that. He's not. What he did in the first week was the right call for the right moment. At that moment with that team, he did not have all the answers yet. So I like what he did there. He made it. He made the right decision. He was going for an aggressive call yesterday, and then there was a penalty, and then he ended up, going for the field goal after that. And that was, I'm good. Mario has actually, last year, he took a step forward by allowing Cam Ward to be himself and the offensive coordinator allow him to air it out. That was very un-Mario-like. Okay? I think Mario has evolved, actually. I really do. So I like what I'm seeing right now. Now, listen, when I don't like it, I'll tell you. And when I like it, I'm going to say it. And I'll go out on a limb, bad or good. And I've been out on a limb with the Canes this year. I like what I'm seeing. And I like what I see, the growth from Mario. Because he didn't do with Justin Herbert what he did with Cam and his offensive coordinator. He had a conservative Herbert. He had him running a lot, all that. And, with the rocket arm that the guy has, you should at least be, firing that thing around at that level. And he let Cam do his thing. I disagree with you, man. I think Mario has evolved a little bit. All right, next up. It is Ty in the Bronx. Thank you, sir. Blind ass fans, we have some. I've been known to be guilty of it at times. But you know what? You asked for it. You want it. Toyota, you got it. Go ahead.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
By the way, speaking of Toyota of Hollywood, a proud sponsor of our program, the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States, the Camry LE sedan right now, $299 a month with 0 down. They've got no payments for 90 days. They've got over 2,000 vehicles, over 1,200 new vehicles. Go see Herbie Lopez and all the great people out there at Toyota of Hollywood. Tell them that Big O sent you. And by the way, great place to shop. If the weather's bad, it's raining, or it's hot, all the cars are under roof. It's a beautiful thing. And when you're going to go see a Camry or a Tundra or whatever car you want, there's going to be like 30, 40, 50, 60 of them to choose from. It's a beautiful thing. Go check it out. Prius, whatever type of car you're looking for, the Crown, 4Runner, they got it for you there at Toyota of Hollywood. All right. Send Furones a link. I guess he couldn't find the link I sent his ass because I sent him a link. Anyway, what do we got? We got another super chat going on here. What's next? Let's see. Toxic Fart. You only want to hear from him. You don't want to be next to him. He says, I've been wanting McFraud out since season 2, but he's not getting fired on a short week. Probably not. But we can all pray. But yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to get fired. It probably will be after the Buffalo game, which is what we talked about, which would be apropos with 10 days left for the next game. Probably was going to happen. Toxic Fart, if you actually went by close to McDaniel, you'd get rid of him yourself with a Toxic Fart. Peter German, thank you for the love on Venmo. Just to be fair, Big O, Greer made this offensive line over the last bunch of years. I can't let him off the hook for the talent. I agree. Now, Patrick Paul is a good player, and so is Connor. And so Connor was, and so is Brewer. And maybe Savania turns into a good player. Hunt was a good player. It was just that you shouldn't have let go of Hunt. Jackson's a good player, but now he's turned into an injury-prone player. So they've actually found some guys. The bigger problem is that they don't stick to the run. And that's what hurts the offensive line because they're constantly pass protecting and getting beat up. They need to be more concentrating on the run so the line is beating people up. It's just weird, man. He doesn't complement his own offensive linemen. McDaniel doesn't help his offense, period. Doesn't. Linemen love to run the ball. Christian DiMartino, thank you for the Venmo. 15 rushing attempts, 4th and 9, can't get plays in on time, wasting timeouts, can't provide support for our QB. Oh, wait, we've seen this movie before. Bye-bye, McDummy. Is there anything you can disagree with there? No, there isn't, unfortunately. All right, let's get to our Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins post-game report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Realm Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right, my man. Wait, we'll get this Toyota billboard off your face here a second. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
All right,
let's see some Welton
brother.
Rayom. Let's see some Welton Rayom for the segment.
Yes, definitely. Welton Rayom, Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. And remember, we are in storm season. So here in Florida, make sure you keep their number by your side. You may not need them now, but if something happens, some kind of torrential downpour, some kind of thunderstorm, or a tropical storm, or a hurricane, wind damage, rain damage, water damage, you see any brown spots on your roof, never call the insurance company. You call Welton Rayom first. They send their adjusters over, and then they call the insurance company for you, and you never have to deal with them. It's a beautiful thing. 954-966-4646. Is there any insurance to save this season?
Well, this was the big one that I was looking at, where if they had a chance, it would be making sure you secure a home victory against the Patriots, whom the Dolphins hadn't lost to in 4 previous tries, had swept them back-to-back seasons. You had the early kickoff early in the season, 1 p.m. Under the heat and humidity for the Northerners coming down, and all things were lined up, and it still went horribly wrong from early in the game, and then definitely late with the miscues and miscommunications and delays in getting aligned and calls in. A lot of the things that we have been seeing during Mike McDaniel's tenure, as you've alluded to plenty of times. So it ends like that, and so in a stretch where you already started with the debacle of the 33-8 loss in Indianapolis, and you have the Bills, the mighty Bills, on a short week in Buffalo, then this was the one the Dolphins needed to have to salvage something from this early portion, and they didn't get it. So I would be leaning on no. It's downhill fast at this point.
How was McDaniel in the press conference?
I think normal McDaniel. Same as
he's joking around.
Not on
jokes. He's so funny. He's so funny.
No, I would say normal from a post-game loss standpoint, not more somber than normal. Probably some players, yes, because I think this was definitely a heartbreaker. But he was in no joking mood, of course. We asked him about job security and the banner flying overhead before the game, and he gave a similar message as he has previously, as far as that he knows nothing is granted to someone in the NFL. All things need to be earned. So I think he understands the hot seat situation that he is in. And as far as the banner, he said, he was focused on coaching, wasn't even aware of it during the game. So, but all these things are piling up, and the Dolphins are certainly drawing the ire of the fan base, as we see.
Is it a team with confidence? Because I don't believe they have that. I just I almost feel like the players, if they win the game, they're winning really in spite of McDaniel. It's like, they played, and they probably played for themselves. It's not like I'm not watching a team that loves their coach. I'm not watching a team that is like, man, there's no way my coach's job is on the line. I'm going to make sure I send a message that my coach has got to be my coach. And I just don't see that. Do you see that? You're closer than we are. You're in the locker room. Do you sense that kind of connection?
I think, because that's one thing that is a strong point for Mike, is building those kind of connections. So I think, it might be a split thing. Some players feel that way toward him. Maybe some, they're out to just do their job. It's the NFL, and everyone's got to do their 153rd or whatever. And, it's just a matter of whether you have that connection or not to your coach. You're still going to go out there and do what you can, do what you know how to do. But I would figure there's probably some kind of split. I don't know what the number or the percentage would be, but I think there's a strong bond with a portion of the locker room, but maybe some could, for lack of a better word, couldn't care less, who's coaching them. It's just, I got to do my job.
Yeah. When you looked at this game, what were the indictments on Mike McDaniel? Because obviously a lot of people want to see him and Chris Greer and maybe Ross sell the team and Trey Tua and all that. But when I look at McDaniel, we're 4 years in. What is it that you look at and you say, why? Tell me.
First and foremost, I would point to the lack of communication, play call, getting in streamlined in an effective way during a key moment. It was that the second to last drive, 4th down, and it's a key decision on whether you go for it or not, because it's a backed up 4th and 9. You still have 2 timeouts, like they ended up doing. They still got the ball back. So do you punt it in that situation to then back them up and then start the next drive with good field position? I asked Mike if there was a delay in making the decision. He said that wasn't it, but there certainly was a delay in the point when the Dolphins broke the huddle, which was already around 10 seconds, and then everyone's got to get aligned. And by the time they were up against the play clock expiring, by the time they snapped the ball and couldn't do any of if there was any motion in that play, you couldn't go get to that the way you normally would. I would say that's first and foremost is the play calls getting in during key moments during that 4th and 9. That was a play that resulted in Tua's interception as he snapped the ball right up against the termination of the play clock, and penalties during key moments. They were driving again and then get backed up a couple times with I got to look at the play-by-play, but I think it was a delay of game first.
Drive you're talking about easily should have been a touchdown if you didn't commit 7,000 penalties on that one drive. Dude. Yeah. I don't know how many negative yards you had on that drive, but that was just disgusting. It's just like so irresponsible that you can't get plays in on time, that your players can't line up right. It's baffling, dude. And remember, you get the play in late, the quarterback can't check out of it. If the coverage is set, he's screwed, dude. He's screwed. Absolutely screwed. And so you don't put your quarterback at any kind of an advantage when this guy is your coach. It just. And by the way, where the hell is Ollie Gordon? I heard that the law was that you have to average 11 yards a carry. 8 isn't enough. We used to have a TV show when I was a kid. It was called 8 is Enough. I think that is now his slogan for running backs that are backing up H.N. Oh, 8 yards? No, that's not enough. I'm sorry. It's not enough. So, this is another thing. Like, you see them trying to pound your ass with Stevenson. And the one play that Ollie had, by the way, he took 2 defenders with him into the ground for 2 more yards. Okay? That, as I told the crowd earlier, I said, it got me sexually aroused. And then after what happened, I got blue balled. I never saw him again. Where is he? Where is he?
I don't need any of those images myself, Big O.
I'm sorry, but this is how that was good, bro. Why aren't we doing this? You're in 90-degree heat. Make these mothers work. Pound their asses. You got a big back. Your line actually was doing all right, opening up some holes. Last week, by the way, in the few runs you had a bunch of success in them. You just didn't continue. It just, dude, it's baffling, bro. It's baffling.
Yeah, and we talked about the run game, and this was a scenario where, they did fall behind 12-0 early, but that was still very early in this game. You end up coming back and taking the lead, so you are in no position where you have to abandon the run by any means. So it's still Devon Achane, 11 carries, Ollie Gordon, like you said, you still only get him the ball the one time. So he's your power presence that you have. So, with Jalen Wright out, Alexander Madison done for the season, and still it's just the one time, and it was a great run, 8 yards, like you said, taking guys with them. They did a few things. I mean, they did those end arounds, got Malik Washington involved, but still it's just 12 runs with the running backs still in a game where it was tight and back and forth.
Complex here. Do we have a Napoleon complex here? Because we have a Napoleon as a coach, and he just wants to use Malik and wants to use Achane, and God bless Achane, but you might want to use bigger backs. By the way,
Achane was great in the passing game.
I know.
Achane
is just great. Period.
Yeah,
but I don't want to overuse him too. I want to use Ollie also, dude. I'm semi happy. He got a big receiver involved in the offense a couple times here. It was like, wow.
With Westbrook Akine.
Yeah, I was like, what a concept. They got you a big receiver, and now you got him in the offense. Hey, big target, helps a short quarterback. These are things that just...
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, look at the Patriots. They nearly doubled the Dolphins in rushing attempts. So 29-15. So Drake May, because similar. The two quarterbacks were dueling. Tua he got away with that first interception, which was taken back due to penalty, and he was sharp after that for quite a while until those final couple of drives. But Drake May, all he had to do was throw the ball 23 times. Was an efficient 19 of 23. But then when you lean on the passing game so much, that's how you have, you end up with a late interception. It was on a fourth down. He had to throw the ball regardless, but 5 sacks also in the passing game. So now you're putting your quarterback at risk, including the final play that set it all off the fourth down, which was the right side of the offensive line where you have two guys on IR. You have 2 guys on IR that are missing the first of at least 4 games now. So it's a really tough spot that this team is in on so many levels.
Was any of the sacks on Keon?
See, I think that one might have to look at it again, but it might have been some kind of twist or stunt because Keon.
It was on Borum. It was definitely on Borum.
It was on Bourne because Keon had the initial. I just said right side of the line because I was like, I saw it happen, and I got to write my shit and get it.
I know that one wasn't on Keon.
Okay,
I can't tell you that the other 4 weren't on Keon. That's why I'm asking.
There's a lot of film to have to watch. Yeah, on a lot of things.
I have a little favoritism to Keon.
Big O's level fair with Keon Smith.
Because I think he's young and does have a little potential. I do.
He's come a long way.
He was doing fine last year before he actually got the knee injury, dude. I thought he was competing to be like that backup swing just in case something happened to Lamb or something. I thought he was getting himself ready for that, and then he suffered the knee injury. So I'm kind of a Keon fan. I like his ability. I think his raw ability is there. And so that's why I'm wondering if he allowed any of them today. I'll go back and look at it eventually.
Same.
But,
yeah. No, and he's come so long from just being, you mentioned the raw ability, just more polished, how he goes back to 2021 on the practice squad and practice squad, I believe the next season too, and then earns a roster spot and then has just come a long way where now, one guy goes down and he's the first man up afterwards when it was James Daniels 3 plays into the season on offense. So, no, I mean, he has come a long way. I have to look back on a lot of those sacks and watch them.
Okay, so why should they keep McDaniel past the Buffalo game?
I can't be so certain that they will. So
no, but
the case for him.
I'm not asking that. I'm asking you to make a case. Why would you? To me, I would have fired him last year, but my point is, why would you keep him? You're going to get throttled on Thursday. Okay, so you lose that game. Now you have 10 days. Let's be honest now. Why you have to make the change, right? I mean, keeping McDaniel, what is the positives in keeping McDaniel post the Buffalo game?
Yeah, no, I wouldn't see them myself. If they go over there and it's a blowout, then that was exactly the scenario I was lining up where he is in serious jeopardy at that point. If they go in 0-2, going on 0-3 and get blown out in Buffalo, how it might just go on a short week with how heartbreaking this was for the Dolphins, then no, I mean, that was the scenario I was posing as that's where he's really in danger of it happening. So I couldn't give you a good reason at that point. And now I backed them all last year. You remember we did this after every loss when they were 2-6, yada yada. I was, every time it was you were
the hopium salesman last year.
Well, I just thought that wasn't the time. I just thought that wasn't the time when you were just.
Yeah.
I just thought it was still too soon from the 2023 season where you had such high hopes, and I always had the caveat of that Tua was out early in that season and it derailed the 2024 season. But you'd be hard pressed to find a good reason at this point. The only way would be if it's just felt like it's too early in the year to make the drastic move. But you got the mini buy on the other side of it. It might just be when it happens. Steve Ross has done it. It was the Joe Philbin year, right? Was it 4 games in that time?
Yeah. After wrongly extending him, which is the same scenario here, where there was no reason to extend him, and you did, and now you paid the price. And there was no reason to extend Philbin, and you paid the price for it. Unfortunately. See, what's going on here right now is, and kudos to the players, because look, there's no doubt there are times where he designed some plays that you're like, dude, really nice job. When he got Achane lined up on a linebacker and Achane broke away, that was beautiful play design. There are times where he does have a skill set for that. But unfortunately, this is where I give the players overall the credit. A lot of the success that you saw in the first couple of years, you think about it, the same mistakes that you've seen the first 2 weeks, they've been going on for years. But those players were better, those rosters were better, and they were able to overcome these mistakes. This roster is not as good as the last 2 years. You cannot keep making those mistakes because you cannot overcome them. You're not that good. And that's the problem right now. You're not as good. You're not as deep. It's a thin roster. And you've got to play nearly perfect football week in and week out with this team. Kudos to the players of the past, because they made it probably better than what it is, because we're watching right now what his coaching really is, unfortunately.
That's another key element was when you still had Tua on his rookie contract, then you could just throw money at the different problems. You could go find a sure thing outside on the market, trade market, free agency, just high priced players that you bring in and you go and cover up things. And those were some stacked rosters when you combine the group that had been drafted and was building up to something. And then eventually a lot of them, they couldn't bring them back because of some of the money management. But
or some of them didn't want to be here anymore. Some of them moved on too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But those teams, they should have been bound for a lot more success than we did end up seeing. And it has shown that that's a detriment to the coaching. I mean, I've always said, as much as because here's another thing. I like Mike McDaniel as a person. He's a great guy. Yeah, right. Yeah. But the one thing I hold against him is that Brian Flores, the previous 2 seasons, with so much less talent. I mean, the 2020 and 2021 teams, those rosters were so void of talent compared to what Mike had starting 22, 23. And he went 10-6 in 20, 9-8 in 2021 after they started 1-7. They were on the verge of competing for a playoff spot, got eliminated the week 17 that year.
Right.
And then you have 22. Now you have Tyreek Hill, you have Teron Armstead, Bradley Chubb at the trade deadline. All these pieces, the younger pieces were growing, and still it was the same record, 9-8. But it was a playoff appearance because of everything else that happened in the AFC. And then the 23 team, that was one that, honestly, that roster should have been competing for a Super Bowl. And then you blow the 3-game lead in the AFC East. You had the Buffalo Bills on a 3-game lead with 5 weeks remaining. You end up at the 6th seed, and you go to frigid Kansas City and lose to the eventual Super Bowl champions because you fell out of the division winners into the wild card. So, and it's been downhill since 2024.
Tennessee, bro. You lose to Tennessee. I mean, give me a break.
Tennessee game.
Yeah.
Mike Vrabel. It's come full circle.
I know. Trust me. Last week, I'm looking at the whole week. The whole year came back at me a year later. I wanted him fired in the Colts game last year and go after Vrabel. You know that. I said it. And now a year later, I watch him get even trashed worse against the Colts and then lose to the coach that I wanted last year. Yeah. Yeah. That's my life, bro. All right. What do you got going on in the Sentinel so folks can check you out, my brother?
Yeah, I got the early story on the banner flying overhead, so that was the big news early, as had already been determined, and so I'll be updating that and recapping a real heartbreaker for the Dolphins, falling 0-2, and then turning the page quickly because it's a short week, and then gotta get to Buffalo, and I think we have an idea of what might happen there.
no chance they fire him this week, right before Buffalo, right?
Not on a short week. No, I don't think I don't think you can do that. So I guess there's there's certain scores for Stephen Ross that you go into Thursday night in Buffalo and there might be certain scores in his mind where if it goes that way with the mini bye and 10 days between games, maybe that's when you do it before the Monday night game against the Jets.
Well, I mean, listen, look, McDaniel has his standards, 11 yards a carry, and look at Ollie, poor guy, only 8. So I can see numbers are important. So yeah, it's important. It's important. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _, and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother. We will catch up later on in the week. Appreciate it.
Sounds good.
All right. Unless they fire the coach, then we'll get him on right away. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Reach out to our guys, Jeff Walton, Daniel Rayom. They are absolute ass kickers. 954-966-4646. When we had all those storms in the West Coast, several of our listeners used Walton Rayom, and they're in a much better place now. We've had listeners on the Gold Coast, here on the East Coast. We're still waiting in Central Florida. We're still waiting for somebody on the Panhandle yet. But listen, never call the insurance companies. Never. They're going to send their adjusters. Their adjusters work for them, not for you. Call Welton Rayom. They have their own adjusters. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Sad. Ricky Hatton, did you see that? Passed away at the age of 46. Damn. He had some legendary bouts, dude. Oh, man. When Ricky Hatton stepped into the ring, he wasn't effing around. He was either going to win or you were going to earn a win, but you were going to earn the win because he wasn't going to fold. Ricky Hatton was a bad son of a bitch, man. Rest in peace. Wow. Sad. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Andrew Watson. Big O came to the game and watched McDaniel seal his for incompetence in game management. In most industries, if you make the same mistakes in your job at year 4 than you did in year 1, it's a fireable offense. I think in year 2. It can't be happening in year 4. Andrew, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate the love. And I'm sorry that you witnessed another terrible football game. One day they'll figure it out, my brother. I don't know when, but they will. Angel Zuniga, thank you, sir. It says, Big O, McDaniel is garbage, never fails, plays always come in with 5 seconds left. Tua will never make a play to win the game. Fire everyone. It's going to be painful to watch on Thursday. Again, you kind of answered some of your questions. When you get the play in on 5 seconds, the quarterback's already at a major disadvantage. So, but that's fine. I hope they trade Tua, bro. I hope he goes somewhere else. Rob Erickson, thank you for the love on Venmo. I know we have to wait and see with the availability, as you said, but would you entertain Chris Shula? No, I wouldn't. He's too young. He can't build a staff. I don't even know if he's a head coach. No, not at all. That's just the Shula name thing that you're going with. I can't go for that. That's not gonna carry me enough. I'm sorry. He's a good assistant coach, but I can't put him there yet, a head coach, just because it says Shula. He could be Mike Shula or Dave Shula. Okay. Just saying. And Mike was half decent. Yeah, I think Perk needs another link. Send him a link. I thought I sent these guys the link. Maybe I didn't. I just read something that's funny. Please fact check me. Wayne Huizenga signs Parcells to a ridiculous contract to be president. Parcells walks and takes his money, but leaves Greer, the village idiot, in his place. Greer was in here way before him. Greer was here with Jimmy Johnson, sir. He was here before Parcells. So, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, so just so you'll know. But he's been in there. So yeah, you stand corrected. He was even before that. Let's see what else. Ross can go to Weaver and tell him get his plan together for after the firing of McD, although not right to do, but he has done worse that cost the Finns draft picks. That is true, Jimbo. You know, as crazy as what you just said, it sounds crazy, right? But we are talking about Stephen Ross, who's done things that are 100 times crazier than that. So who's to say that Ross didn't say, hey, get ready. You're getting in the saddle after Thursday. And what's Anthony going to say? He's going to go over to Mike. Hey, Mike, the owner told me I'm up next on Friday. You're cooked, baby. No, he's just going to, okay, I got myself a head coaching job, and he's going to be cool for the next couple of days. He's go home, have some really good sex, celebrate that he's going to become a head coach, get some head coach money, you know. That's it. That's what will happen. So, you know, it sounds crazy, Jimbo. It probably is not happening. But could you put it past him? The old man does crazier shit than that. Jimbo's right. By the way, don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button. We could get to 1,000. We're at 766. I know there's a bunch of you that haven't hit the like button, and you could get us to 1,000 or close to it. Perks coming on, don't worry. All right, we have any more super chats? The gaming dude says Weaver might just be as bad as Mike will, but let's find out before he leaves. So I don't need to find out any more about Mike. Let me put Weaver in there. Can it get any worse? Next. True Fin fan. Bills 50, Dolphins 3 at the half. Next up. Thank you, True Fin fan, for the laugh. Bag on head. No game next Sunday. I will be looking at T-backs on South Beach, just like the Dolphins Thursday night. I probably won't score either. Hey, at least I won't have to work 7 days. Yeah. Let me see. Hold on a second. Did you send him one? Because he's like hitting last week's link. I said Sean sent him one, and I'm talking to Perkins. Next up, need to catch up to these things. And thank you all for the super chats, man. Sean and I really appreciate
That's the next one, James Bateman. And I did send it.
Okay, thank you, bro. James Bateman, thank you, sir, for the love. I appreciate that immensely.
I sent him the same link I sent to Ferona, so hopefully
all right, he'll get in there. All right, next up, it is Aza. I don't think one first down run went positive in the second half. I thought the FO was going to get a better O-line with Tua's contract. There was no reason to re-sign him if they weren't going to improve the O-line. Well, the injuries aren't going to help either, that Austin Jackson became injury-prone all of a sudden. And then James Daniels, that poor man has no luck, dude, because it had nothing to do with his Achilles injury. It's not like you signed him off an Achilles injury and then he damaged his same foot. No, dude, it's a pec injury. It's just terrible luck. You know what I'm saying? This shit happens. I think Jake Long, I'll give you the most effed up take you'll ever hear. Jake Long was a rock, never injured. Tony Sperano decides, rest in peace. I'm sorry, I got to take a shot at the man. He decides to play Jake Long late in a preseason game, in a rainy preseason game I believe it was like the third preseason game or something or no, it might have been the first preseason game. Yeah, it was like a really useless game, but he wanted to get his O-line in, and not that Jake needed any practice, but he put Jake out there on a muddy field. I believe that if Jake Long never suffers that knee injury, he rarely suffers injuries for the rest of his career. I believe after he suffered that injury, it led to everything else as they overcompensate and all that. That's what happened. I bet you that's what happened to Caitlin Clark this year. Her first injury, they rushed her back. She overcompensated, ruined it with the other injury, and she was done for the year. And it's so screwed up how it is sometimes. There's some players, man, there's like this thing that gets broken and then they become injury prone. And for Jake Long, dude, a guy that athletic, because he wasn't a regular, like, big, goofy lineman or anything. This was a cut-up human being. Like, he was an impressive human being. I swear, if he never suffers that injury, I bet he has a much healthier and much better career. Screwed up, dude. Injuries are screwed up. That you can't call for them. You just don't know. Some guys are injury-prone. Some guys become injury-prone. Fred Taylor had injuries his first 3 or 4 years. And then he went on a run for like 6 or 7 years without a damn injury. Amazing. Shit you can't explain, dude. It's the weirdest thing. All right, let's get to it. Chris Perkins is ready to go. Our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report.
Time to go to the locker room, Miami Dolphins fans. Let's find out what's percolating with the one and only Chris Perkins in our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins postgame report.
All right, Percolator. How you doing, baby? You doing all right? Get in there?
I'm doing better than Mike McDaniel, Big O.
Yeah. I asked Furones, and he couldn't come up with anything. And I would say, why would you keep him after the Buffalo game? I don't know why you would bring him back after the Buffalo game. I think what's best for the team is to kind of turn the page and see what you have with Weaver. And, it's not going to get any better, Perk. 4 years in, still can't get plays in on time. I mean, it's just a joke, bro. The penalties continue. The team is unorganized. Nothing ever improves in 4 years in.
Yeah, no, I think that, definitely if they lose on Thursday, and I expect them to lose. I've expected them to lose ever since the schedule came out. It's Thursday in Buffalo. You've got an 11-day break. It's the natural time to make a change. One of the big problems, though, is Weaver's defense is what the heck happened to those dudes, Big O? I mean, and here's the big problem with the Dolphins right now. There's nothing that they can count on to anchor them on this slide, right? You can't count on the run defense, the run offense, the passing offense, special teams, coaching, just kind of the fighting spirit of the team, which is something that I've admired. These guys really don't give up. We saw that in 2022 when they were on that 5-game losing streak. But none of that puts W's on the scoreboard, Big O. That's what this game is all about. It's a results-oriented business. So if they lose at Buffalo, which I fully expect, I would fully expect a coaching change to happen, because what are you doing at that point? When you're 0-3 and nothing is working for you, what are you doing? We saw today the offensive line really wasn't that bad until it was, right? 5 sacks. Tua really wasn't that bad, even though he started off with the interception, until he was, because you had that late interception. It's just
one where they get the play in with like 5 seconds left. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, it really is, and so yeah, I would expect that. It's time to make the change. I asked Mike after the game, are you worried about your job security? And he said that, if I'm worried about that, then I'm not focused on the Buffalo Bills and I'm doing a disservice to the team. But, the fan frustration, Big O, I moved here in 1997. I have not seen the fan frustration this high, and maybe in any sport. Marlins, UM, Miami Heat, Florida Panthers. This is just plain nasty. The comments on social media are nasty. People are fed up. It's year 4 of the McDaniel era. You thought you had something here. It turns out you don't. You don't even have a playoff win. It's probably time to pull the plug on this thing if you lose at Buffalo.
Oh, they're going to lose at Buffalo. There's no doubt about it that they will lose at Buffalo, and they will lose in a glorious fashion at Buffalo. They cannot compete. McDaniel refuses, Perk, to commit to the run. It's the weirdest thing in the world. Right. Ollie Gordon runs one time for 8 yards right in the middle, takes 2 guys, another 2 yards, and I'm like, yeah, baby, this is what I want to see. And then after, it's just like he's on a milk carton. And I don't, so we're and God bless Malik. But my man, is there some kind of Napoleon complex here that we've got to use small people? And I don't understand this at times. And these are things that will make your offensive line better, by the way, since they're not great at pass protection. And last week when they ran the ball, look at most of the majority of the runs. They were successful runs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Why do you abandon the run? I don't understand this, dude.
And
Ollie again.
Yeah, I've been yelling about this pretty much the entire Mike McDaniel era. And why can't you run the ball? And people are like, well, it's not really McDaniel. He was the run game coordinator in San Francisco. Okay, show it. Show it. It's the same thing. He relies on the speed. Everybody in the NFL is fast. That sprint relay team crap. It's done. It's over. People have caught up to you, and you need to try to add a new wrinkle, a new dimension to your offense, to your team. And he won't do it. You had Chris Brooks, and that didn't. You cut him, and now you have Ollie Gordon, and you refuse to utilize him. The tight ends. And granted, before Jonnu, you had Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe, but you had tight ends, and you didn't fully utilize Gesicki. You can say whatever you say about Gesicki. I know he doesn't want to block, but that's fine. You take advantage of his passing skills, or his receiving skills, rather. Right, exactly.
Use it for blocking.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of the frustrating thing with McDaniel is he just doesn't change. He's stubborn. He's creative to an extent, but he's very comfortable with what he's doing, and he refuses to change. And I think ultimately that's kind of one of the main factors bringing him down. You can say whatever you want to say about injuries, but this team has not progressed at all. They're pretty much the same offense they were in 2022, using the same ideals and the same principles of speed and small guys and finesse. They don't get physical. They don't get aggressive. Keep using Ollie Gordon. Pound these guys. Pound these opponents over the head. Let them know this is a new day.
85, 90 degrees. It's humid, bro.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's frustrating. And look, there's a lot of people out there, myself included, that like Mike McDaniel, but this can't continue. This can't continue. He's so stubborn. He just won't do what's necessary to win games. And
reminds you of Dave Wannstedt, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, this is worse than Wannstedt.
Super likable.
Yeah. From that standpoint. Right.
Super stubborn in his conservative ways.
Yeah. And
remember that?
Yeah.
Anybody that covered McDaniel, I'm sure, and anybody that covers Wannstedt, I'm sure we all feel the same way. Yeah. Super likable guy, bro.
Right.
You cannot wish anything bad on Dave Wannstedt or Mike McDaniel. They're just nice people. But the problem is, dude, this is not about being nice.
No, it's not. It's not. You've got to live up to the talent that's on your roster. And I know last year you weren't a talent-rich roster. This year you're not a talent-rich roster, but you've got to do better. You've got to make the most of the talent that you have. And to me, that's the big failure of Mike McDaniel, that they leave so much meat on the bone that you look at this team and you go, well, okay, they're not Super Bowl contenders, but they're better than this. They should have better results, from coaching to performance on the field, to off the field stuff. I'm in that locker room, and these guys somehow remain in good spirits, Big O. I talked to Zach Sealer. I talked to Jordan Brooks. I talked to Patrick Paul. I talked to Elijah Campbell. And these guys remain in good spirits. But I talked to Matthew Judon, and I'm telling all of them, but at some point, like, you got to see a victory, right? And they said, yeah, you do. Like, it's great that we're all united and we go out to dinner together and all that BS, but that doesn't put W's on the scoreboard, in the standings. It's about putting W's in the standings, and they don't have any way to do that.
Chris, do you see a confident team? Because I don't know how you're a confident team when your coaching staff is so inconsistent.
They're not confident, but they're not beaten down. They're not as angry as the fans are. They still do have a pretty good mindset. And, I did have Elijah Campbell tell me, well, it's only 2 games. And Jordan Brooks told me the same thing. But it's like, okay, but you should have won both of these games, and you're giving up 33 points in each game, and you're not doing anything that you can hang your hat on. I thought the edge rushers, the front 7 was going to be pressuring Daniel Jones and Drake May, and they really have not done that consistently. I think they had 3 sacks today.
But you can run on them. And you can pass on them, and that neutralizes the few times they do hold on to the ball.
Yep.
Chubb gets there. You'll get a couple guys, right. But because by the way, their linebackers are not very good in coverage. Okay?
Oh, no. And we knew that coming into the season, though, right?
So you have a shitty secondary.
Yep.
You have linebackers that can't cover.
Yep.
You have a group of young defensive tackles that, dude, their heads are spinning right now.
Yep.
You can't expect any of those guys to come in and dominate. It would be nice, but they're going to have their problems. So, this is what I tell everybody, because the defense looks bad, right? I think Weaver will get the best out of them, but it's going to take him several weeks to figure out who's who and what they can do and all that. The season will be over by then.
Right.
But I guarantee you the second half of the season, you'll see the defense from Weaver playing much better, because at the moment he cannot, with the limited training camp and preseason that you don't hit and don't do anything, you really can't find out about anything about anybody until the season starts. So now's when he's finding out about his guys. And you'll start to see them get better, but the problem is they don't have that luxury, because that offense can't carry them while they do that. And because they don't have that, the season will be over by the time he figures it out on defense, unfortunately.
And you know what, Big O? See, I kind of see it the opposite. I kind of see it as the defense has to carry the offense early in the season, because the defense, because look, you have those front 4, right? And here's the problem with this team, that if you can't get to the quarterback, bad things are going to happen. So, the Ramondre Stevenson, a 55-yard catch and run. Yeah. Jalen Phillips is almost at Drake May, but he doesn't get to him. So May is able to throw the pass, and Jordan Brooks is like 28 yards behind Stevenson. He's got no chance to catch him, Big O. And that's what happens when you can't get home on this as a pass rusher, because your linebackers can't cover, your cornerbacks are exposed. Ify Melifonwu, I think he basically got benched. In the middle of this game, they started using Dante Trader Jr. because Ify is the guy who blew it last week on the Michael Pittman touchdown that he gets behind Storm Duck. Storm Duck reroutes him, and there's no help back there. And then today, I just know that I think it was the Matt Collins touchdown, Ify was the closest defender. I don't know who was supposed to be covering him, but I think Jack Jones was there, but Ify was the closest defender, which is what I usually say. He's the closest defender, and he ends up getting benched, and then he gets the calf injury. We'll see how he is, but those edge rushers, they had to, that's where all your talent was, because you knew coming into the season the Tua to Tyreek combination needed some time, because they hadn't worked together the whole off season. They missed the last 2 games of last season together because Tua wasn't there. And then Tyreek has the right wrist surgery. He has the oblique injury. So that relationship was going to take some time. Then you start, the offensive line hadn't been together because you remember Austin Jackson missed some time in training camp. And so they weren't together at all. And you knew the offense was going to take some time. The defense had to excel and hold teams to 13 points, 20 points, whatever. They haven't done that. The tackling today was pretty damn bad. This took me back to the Green Bay game of last year, and it wasn't cold outside today. I'm more disappointed in the defense than I am in the offense.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I definitely am disappointed in them, but I didn't expect them to carry them because with that secondary, linebackers that can't cover.
Well, the front seven had to carry them.
Yeah, but the front seven still has to stop the run, and they're not proven yet to be a great run-stopping team as it is.
But
Plus,
they were number 9 last year against the run.
Yeah,
and I know you lost Calais, but
right,
you know,
what I'm saying. You lost Calais, and that's a lot. And then you lost Calais, and then you would lose a hand or some other veteran you've had here the last couple of years. You've always had you have another young guy and another young guy. It's a whole different ballgame for them right now. I don't expect them to kind of be better until a few more weeks down the line, and then maybe they can have some of those moments you're talking about. But right now, look, I predicted 7-10, and I was being nice. Yep. This roster's too thin.
That's the thing.
Place,
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
You need a Spo Shula-like coach to really lift a roster like this, because you've got to be really creative and really disciplined. Like you can barely commit any penalties. Those are the kind of teams that you've got. When you're not very good, you've got to be incredibly disciplined.
Yep, got to play a clean game, and that's never been the thing with Mike McDaniel. In 2022, they were one of the league's most penalized teams. They got it corrected in 2023, but last year the penalties came back, and it's just so much situational football, Big O. You can't be getting behind the chains, 1st and 15, and this offense is not good enough to make up for that. It just isn't, and so. What I thought early in training camp and even in mini camp was that, okay, if you can stay reasonably healthy with the starters, then, you have a chance to have a winning record. And look, they do get hit hard by the injuries last week. You lose 4 starters in Storm Duck, Benito Jones, James Daniels, and Austin Jackson. But you were healthy this game, and I know that Chop went out, but he came back in with the knee injury, and if he went out, but you were relatively healthy this game. There's no excuses. You were here with the I think the feels like temperature made it up to 88. But I talked to Jordan Brooks last week. I asked him about the weather. And he basically said that's BS, that it's about our mindset, that you can't depend on the heat and the humidity to give you that edge. Your mindset has to give you that edge, and the Dolphins don't have that.
Well, that is one thing that I just don't see so you are expecting a change on Thursday night if they lose to Buffalo.
At 0-3, I expect a change. I don't know if it comes Thursday night or Friday or Saturday or Sunday, but at 0-3, I would expect a change because I just don't see it turning around. And look, Big O, I've kept saying that to me, a successful season for this team is winning a playoff game. It's not going 10-7 or 11-6 and having the number 1 offense. You've done all that crap. You've got to win playoff games. At 0-3, I mean, number 1, they're probably not making the playoffs, right? We can all agree on that. And number 2, it would be a small miracle if they go from 0-3 to winning a playoff game. It's year 4 of McDaniel and Greer, might I add, but GMs don't get fired during the season. He'll be a Black Monday firing. You've just got to turn the page on this whole era, this whole administration. You get out the broom. You don't get tweezers and pluck them out one by one. You get out the broom and you turn the page and you say, this didn't work. What are we going to be looking forward to in 2026? And it's a rebuild.
Is Greer firing McDaniel to put in Weaver to try to save his job?
Oh no, I don't think. No. I think that I think Greer probably sees the writing on the wall, and as much as I like Weaver again, man, this defense, my goodness, like what happened to it? And look, I know that Weaver would be the leader in the clubhouse. He would be my choice, but again, who saw Dan Campbell coming? Right? The tight ends coach. You had Zach Taylor on your staff. He and Bill Lazor, they were the co-offensive coordinators. Zach Taylor is a guy who's taken a team to the Super Bowl. And you think one of the coordinators gets that promotion, but I don't know. I don't know. Daryl Bevell has been an interim coach. Eric Studis, Daryl Bevell, the QB coach. Eric Studisville, the running backs coach.
Offensive coordinator. I would make Bevell my offensive coordinator. And then what's the name of the dude that's right under Weaver?
Bobby Slowick, who Jay just brought in as the senior pass game coordinator.
Become the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I don't, I know guys like Austin Clark, the defensive line coach, but I don't think he's ready at this point. Joe Barry, I believe, he's been a coordinator, the linebackers coach, the inside linebackers coach. But I think that Weaver gets the job, but I don't know that it's a 100% slam dunk, because again, back in what year was it, 2015, whatever year it was, I'd have never thought Dan Campbell, the tight ends coach, was going to be the interim coach. I'd have never selected him.
No, I know.
I wouldn't have thought of it. I shouldn't say.
They were kind of in a lost zone at that point. And so, the Dan Campbell thing, and if we would have kept him, he would have been a disaster here.
Yeah, he wasn't ready.
The best thing that happened to him was going to Sean Payton for 5-6 years and getting his education.
Correct.
And then that's what made him the opportunity to become a real head coach. You know what I mean? Unfortunately. But yeah. And I'm sure we'll talk about future head coaches and all that kind of stuff when it happens. I don't want to get into that right now because that's useless. Did you sense anything from the coach or from the players that you didn't like the confidences? Because I know you said they had a good attitude overall. So there was nothing out there you were concerned about when you looked at the coach or the players.
It's mostly Mike McDaniel, and I wrote about this yesterday, for the story advancing this game. It's just that there just seems to be a heaviness around that facility, just kind of a dark cloud hovering that, that this is a very upbeat team under Mike McDaniel, but you don't see as much laughter. You don't see as much, lightheartedness. Most things were kind of roll off this team's back. It's sticking now. And I think there's a realization that they're underachieving. And when you look at Mike McDaniel on the podium, as we saw post-game today, Mike is a guy who usually makes eye contact. He makes a little jokey joke here and there. He's got hand gestures. He's kind of animated. And now he's just kind of looking down at the podium, not really looking at the questioner very much, not looking out at us in the, in the interview room as a collective very much. His eyes kind of stay fixed on the podium. He's even more in a monotone than before. There's not a whole lot of emotion in his voice. He kind of sounds and looks beaten down. He kind of sounds and looks like a guy who knows that the end is near. I'm not going to give the dead man walking thing right now, but he's limping along. He's been in the league for a while. He knows what it looks like when the ship is going down.
Yeah. It's dead men walking. Now follow me on this, obviously, and it's nice to see that the rest of the national media has caught up, as we said for months.
Right. Correct.
No chance Tyreek was ever going to get traded. Just like we've told people that say trade to it, you can't. You're stuck with them this year and next year, whether you like it or not. Just shut up. And the same thing with Tyreek. I told everybody in the offseason months ago that Tyreek will be traded in the deadline. Okay?
Yeah.
I also said Chubb would be the other guy traded. For months now, I've said those are the two guys that for the trading deadline, that's what's going to happen when this team isn't in the race. First, I'll ask you the Tyreek one, then I'll ask you the Chubb one. The Tyreek one, if I want to look at some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, I want to tell you this. And I don't know if you saw him after the game, but this week, his press conference with you guys, it was the most mature Tyreek I have ever seen in my life. You asked him a whole bunch of uncomfortable stuff, and he handled it like an old pro would handle it. And I don't know if Drew Rosenhaus reached him or somebody reached him, but somebody has got to tell him, and maybe he knows by now, dude, keep your shit straight. Be a pro no matter what goes on for the next few weeks. By the trading deadline, they will move you to a contender. Somebody will want you. They'll give up an early third-day pick or something for you, a fourth rounder, fifth rounder, and they'll move you. And I don't know if we'll see if he can keep his cool. I know he had a little bit of a heated thing on the sideline, but that's nothing in games. Right. That's normal. That happens all the time.
Right.
I talk about out in the street, out in the locker room, all that kind of stuff. We haven't seen any of that. I'm just wondering, do you think Tyreek got the message? Because he's got no guaranteed money after this. He knows Miami's going to let him go. So his best chance is to be a good soldier from here on out. You know, as when Coach Cheese went to Ajax and said, you just soldier and keep your mouth shut in the Warriors. Same thing. Do you think he's going to soldier and keep his mouth shut? Because it actually would be good for the future of the Dolphins for them to get a pick and get something out of this.
I don't know. I always say Tyreek's going to Tyreek. So I don't know, Big O. I don't know. But I do think that Tyreek got the message probably in the off season. You know, there wasn't as much knucklehead behavior this off season as there has been in other off seasons. He knows his age. He knows how much he's going to count on the salary cap. But the new wrinkle is this NFL investigation. I don't know how much anybody's going to give up for Tyreek. And when you say that he's going to,
they're not that investigation nothing will happen until next year. They won't have to worry about that next year. If you trade for him, you're only trading for him for 2 months, and you're releasing him just like the Dolphins would. That's it.
Yeah. But do you want to give up anything for him? I mean, if you're
a contender and you need a receiver, a 1 or 2, you would easily give up a 4th or 5th rounder, an early third-day pick, easily for Tyreek.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to remain to be seen what kind of year he has, what his attitude is like.
But that's my point. I said that. I said
I know, Big O. I know, but once again,
if he's a good soldier.
Right. No, but once again, Tyreek is going to Tyreek, right? Like, that's the thing. If you're that team, I mean, how do you know he's not going to speed outside the stadium and act like a knucklehead? Who saw that coming, Big O? Like,
But tell me you weren't impressed with how he handled the press conference this week.
Yeah, but that's kind of a one-off, Big O. That's okay. We don't know. And look, I saw Tyreek after the game, and I always talk to Tyreek in the locker room. I always just BS with him, and I told him this week about my number with him that they're 11-0 since 2023 when he gets 100 or more yards, 7-17 when he gets 99 or fewer, and he smiled. I saw him I think Thursday, and he smiled and he goes, "Yeah, and I get better with time." So I see him in the locker room today, and I say, "Reek," I was like, that ruined my stat. You got over 100 yards today, and you guys lost. And he kind of laughed, and he shook my hand, and he goes, you blew it. You cursed me. You talked about it too much. And I laughed. I was like, Tyreek, I've been given that stat like all last year, and in 2023, I was like, this didn't hex it. Now, and that's kind of the thing with Tyreek is just that. I guess that with the Dolphins, he's a big factor. I just when I saw what he did when I saw what Kansas City did without him, I wonder what his value is going to be. He only had 2 100-yard games with Tua last season. He had 3 100-yard games last season.
Chris, you preach it like I do, dude. The Giants won with Phil McConkey and Ingram. Yep. Peyton Manning won 7-8 years ago with an arm that could only throw 10 yards. If you win at the line of scrimmage on offense and defense and you run the ball, you make life easy for even a no-arm quarterback like Peyton Manning to win a damn Super Bowl. Yep. So that's really been the problem of the Miami Dolphins the entire time, that they have never picked up on that. For 45 years, they have never picked up. Even when they had my boy here, they never understood to block and run.
I agree.
Never.
Look, Big O, I'll tell you this. I was going to write a column this week, and I ended up changing direction. I ended up writing the column about what does it look like when Mike McDaniel is pissed at players. But I was going to write a column, can Mike McDaniel coach? And I knew that I had written about this many times, so I went back. I found at least 9 occasions where I've asked the question since December of 2022, can this guy coach? Is he a good coach? And I stopped looking. I'm sure I've written about that like a dozen times. And that's kind of the thing with Mike is that I'm not convinced that he can coach. I mean, you know, and it's like this, but this should have been obvious to the Dolphins. If I'm raising the question, you can't tell me I know more about football than Chris Greer or Marvin Allen, right? I mean, we can all agree that they know way more about football than I do. I don't know why nobody made him change. I don't know why they didn't say, Mike, you've got to get a more physical team. You've got to be more physical at the line of scrimmage. You've got to get a more physical running back. You've got to change the game plan. You've got to change what you're doing. And nobody did that.
No, they have, actually.
I have never heard that.
I can tell you. Well, they're not going to say it publicly.
No, I mean, off the record, I'm talking to people. I've never heard anybody say that they told him.
For a fact, they had that conversation with him this offseason that he needed to commit more to the run and to more of a power running game, and it has not happened. Okay, so that's why they brought Ollie along, and that's why they went and got Madison, and that's why they got 2 guards. They clearly, and they went and got.
But you know what, Big O? But even
finally added the tall receiver this week to the
right.
offense.
But look, but that's the thing, Big O. Like we didn't even see that in training camp. In training camp, what we saw was more Tua to Waddle. We saw a little bit more Alexander Madison. They weren't running up the middle. They were still doing the outside zone stuff. Like nothing changed with this team. And that's my frustration is that, I mean, last year I used to go to Janu after games early in the season and he'd be sitting at his locker and he'd just shake his head and I would shrug. I would be like, dude, I don't know why they're not throwing to you. Like Mike just doesn't change. And that's kind of the frustration with this team that, again, I've never thought they had Super Bowl talent, but they have consistently disappointed and underachieved. And I've always wondered, is this guy a good coach? Can he coach? And I can't give a positive answer to that. I've got to say no, he needs to be much better.
All right, and we'll wrap it up with this. And then the second part of that was Chubb. I said Zeke will be traded by the deadline and Chubb will be traded by the deadline. Why? Because next year they can part ways with Chubb.
Right.
But 2, they're going to move forward with Phillips and Chop, your younger guys, and you got to again clear some money out. So I think Chubb and Tyreek are your targets at the trading deadline for you to pick up more picks, like you did in the offseason when you picked up a 3rd and a 5th rounder for the 26 and 27 drafts. So I think there's going to be some of that where they add 2 more picks. In the end, Chubb is a quality human being. He's got 2 sacks already in 2 weeks. So he's certainly building up the resume, and everybody needs a pass rusher. Plus, he's an exceptional human being. So you have no problems of worrying about him off the field or any of the Tyreeks.
But you do at the end of this season, you mentioned Jalen Phillips. You got to decide what you're going to do with him. He's playing on his 5th-year option. And then you got to decide, are we going to pay Devon Achane? Are you going to
Is
he worth it? Is he worth it? I mean,
it's not that he's worth it. Is that you're screwed. You have no choice. You either negotiate a 2-year Chris Greer special because he's injury prone, or you tag him for a year and say, we can't give you any more money until we know that you can stay healthy for a whole year, and then we're convinced. So they're kind of in a rock and a hard place. But
they are.
Why they have to move Chubb? Because you have to free that money up.
Yeah, you got to decide on Achane and Jalen Phillips because you want to lock Achane up early, and what are you going to give him?
There's no decision in Achane. You better sign him.
I would think you should because you don't have anything else. It's a whole, and if you're going in a different direction, what do you think your new administration is going to want? But I would think they would want Achane, right? Because you got nothing else. Jalen Phillips, I don't know. Yeah, you could franchise him, but yeah, you got to lock up Achane. But they're in a tough position here, Big O.
Yeah. And maybe you don't have to franchise him. You can give him that other tag for Jalen Phillips. And people aren't really going to go crazy because the injury risk.
Yep.
So you might be able to. What's that other tag? The
transition
one.
Yeah, transition.
So that would be, it would be tough for somebody to pay the salary and the extra pick for the transition. Yep. So that would kind of be the thing. All right, what do you got going on in the Sentinel so Dolph fans can be frustrated and check you out?
It's just that they don't have anything to stabilize them right now, Big O. Not the pass rush, not the passing game, not the run game, not coaching, not playing clean, error-free football, not special teams. I mean, I don't know what this team has to stabilize it for the next few weeks. And so by that, I mean, at 1-4, 1-5, I mean, you definitely don't want to be that, but I right now, I just don't see them consistently good enough in any area. They're committing penalties. I mean, just every time you turn around, they're shooting themselves in the foot, and it's self-inflicted damage most of the time. So it's again, they're in a very, very tough spot. I'm surprised that they don't have anything going for them right now.
Follow him on Twitter at Chris Perk, as always, and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Mr. Perkins, as always, thank you, my friend. We appreciate you immensely. We'll catch up next Thursday night.
Thursday night. All right, Big O.
You got it. There you go. EJD Construction. Eric has been at this for over 20 years. AAA plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, 305-433-4843. You got a home. You need any kind of custom home construction, major home remodeling. They do it all. They are fully insured, liability and workers' comp. So anybody that walks onto your property, they are fully insured. And if they get hurt, they will not sue you. Never hire anybody that is not fully insured. Okay, so make sure you hire responsible people. Eric's been at this for a long time, folks. So if you live in Dade or Broward, 305-433-4843.
You've been listening to the EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins post-game report with the Sun Sentinel's Chris Perkins. For additions, home remodeling, and custom work, call Eric at 305-433-4843. EJDconstruction.com is the custom home builder and contractor you can trust. 305-433-4843.
Peter German on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Just an observation about Weaver. Why did he not blitz and make May rush the pass? He was poor at adjusting as Mickey's D. Makes me hesitant to make him head coach for Perk. McDaniel isn't stubborn. He is arrogant. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's that, I guess when that secondary, he doesn't trust them. And if he blitz, he really, puts them at more risk. Plus their linebackers aren't great at coverage. I don't know. Like I said, I think the defense for him will get better as the year goes on. The problem is they don't have that time because they're not a good team. That's why I just didn't expect much. I just didn't expect much. Let's see. Let's go to the super chats. Who is next? Got to catch up. Asia. I don't think one first down run went positive in the second half. I thought they were going to get a better O-line play from the front office with Tua's contract. There was no reason to re-sign him if they weren't going to improve the O-line. Well, they thought they improved the O-line by getting the two guards. And then you thought, your right tackle was coming back from injury and you thought you were going to be fine. Now your right tackle and your right guard are out. That's a problem. And you have a rookie at left guard. So they tried. It just hasn't worked out. Next up. Josh Hart, Big O, my life on the line. I don't want Larry Borum. I'm with you, bro. I don't. Who did I say to start? Kendall Lamb. I said to start Kendall Lamb at right tackle. Not Larry Borum, but whatever. Next up, Eduardo Blasco. Big O, I'm 58 years old and I am done with this. I get it, my brother. I get it. I totally understand all of you out there that are just frustrated with all this shit. I get it. I'm sorry about it, man. And thank you for supporting us. Dino, I am suffering as a Dolphins fan in 7 years more than I have with Bayern Munich my whole lifetime. But God knows I will never quit supporting the team. Yeah, I mean, what, am I going to stop being a Dolphins fan? No. But I'm just going to suffer and complain and bitch. The only thing is, I'm not as mad as you guys out there because I was prepared for a shitty year. And so it's what we're getting. We will get a high draft pick. True Fin fan, thank you for the love. How dare you? I'm the fart king. Well, I mean, his name is Toxic Fart. So maybe there's another person with dangerous farts because he says it's toxic. So, there's a couple of you gassy guys out there. Stamball Law. What about Belichick for next year? Nah. Well, although, if you think about it, Belichick comes here, right? And the game day program will have a Jordan Hudson spread every single week. I like that. 8 or 9 spreads a year for Jordan Hudson. Yeah, there's some positive about bringing Belichick here, right? Yes, sir.
The only way I would do that is if he keeps this team. Again, I said it before, I do not want him beating Schuler's record, especially if you brought Belichick here to do the Dolphins.
No, I don't want Belichick here at all. I think he's done. Deion Sanders is a college guy. He wants nothing to do with pro people. He wants to mold kids. And I think he's better off there, actually, with kids. No Gruden, no. Well, Dungy's already, it's, I said rode Dungy's coattails, so yeah. Yeah, no, stand by. Don't like any of those, unfortunately, my man. But thank you, as always. You're a stud. You keep supporting. Thank you. Toxic Fart is back. To answer your question, you keep McDubby to keep a high draft pick, likely number 1. There we go. The Toxic Fart finds the positive in it. Next up, it is Stamball Law again. Breaking news. Ross hires former player Jonathan Martin as head coach and former player Richie Incognito as defensive coordinator. First change, players hold hands when huddling up. There we go. I like it. Next up, let's see. CJ. Big O, Chris Greer will never get fired. He will only get appointed to a different job or task within the Dolphin organization. That could happen. You never know. George G. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Very nice. Remember, Cash App or Venmo. We love the super chats, but YouTube takes 30% of your donation. So that's why we encourage you, Cash App or Venmo, because we get 100%. You can send your questions, comments, and insults there too. George G. Big O, did you hear McDaniel talk about getting the play in on time? He threw 3 other people under the bus instead of taking accountability, a real leader. Yeah, it's on him, dude. It's all on him. It's been going on for 4 years that he can't get shit in on time, that he can't win challenges, that he can't counter when somebody is, stifling him. He is an absolute disaster. I think we're caught up, right, Sean? We're caught up with the super chats. Thank you. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And we appreciate you all out there as always. I don't know. Should I even go over the stats? Because it is so disappointing to go over the stats. And I will, before I go over the stats, let me give you what's going on right now in football. The Broncos are beating the Colts 28-23 with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Cardinals are pounding the Panthers 27-9 with 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. The Eagles are leading the Chiefs 13-10 with 13 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Tonight we'll have the Falcons and the Vikings. Finals, Bengals over the Jags 31-27. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow got hurt again. That sucks, dude. He suffers a lot of injuries. And, I never want to see great players get injured. I don't care that they don't play for the Dolphins. It's no fun. It's bad for the league, especially quarterbacks, dude, because then the backups come in and they're unwatchable. So I hope Joe Burrow's all right, dude. I'm not a Bengals fan. I don't really give a rat's ass about the Bengals, but he looks like a good dude overall, man. Damn. Cowboys beat the Giants in overtime, 40-37. So the G-men are 0-2. The Lions pounded the hell out of the Bears, 52-21. I got to tell you something. I just don't buy Caleb Williams. I'm sorry. He went 19 of 30 today, 207, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Did he run around? Yeah, 5 for 27 also. I'm just not a Caleb Williams fan. I just don't believe in the kid. I'm sorry. Don't believe in him. It is the Rams over the Titans, 33-19. Cam Ward, former Miami Hurricane quarterback, 19 of 33, 175 yards and a touchdown. Pedestrian. He's really put up pedestrian numbers. Remember, it's a bad team. He's a rookie. I've seen also some of his receivers drop some passes. So before you get crazy about Cam, dude, quarterbacks need help, man. Sorry. Quarterbacks, there's this misconception that they do it all themselves. They need help. And Cam doesn't have a lot of help. He did throw one hell of a touchdown that was against his body across the field, that one touchdown. It was a crazy throw, but he kind of does that shit. The Niners over the Saints, 26-21 with a bunch of backups in there on the road. So good for them. The Saints are terrible. They're 0-2. The Bills over the Jets, 30-10. So the Bills are 2-0 and the Jets are 0-2. The Steelers lose to the Seahawks, 31-17. The Steelers roster sucks, by the way. It just sucks. Steelers front office is a joke. So 31-17. And then the Ravens over the Browns, 41-17. They improved to 1-1. Browns dropped to 0-2. Monday night, we have 2 games this week. We've got the Buccaneers and the Texans at 7 o'clock, and then the Chargers taking on the Raiders on the road there at 10:30. All right, so 2 Monday night games. And as for the Dolphins and the Patriots, the stats were not pretty. We'll go with the team stats first. All right. First downs, 18-16 in favor of the Patriots. Total plays in favor of the Patriots, 55-52. Total yards, Miami outgained them, 358-333. Yards per play, Miami won it, 6.9-6.3. Passing, Miami, 297-211. Rushing, they had the advantage, 122-61. Sacks, Miami gave up 5, and Patriots gave up 3. Let's see who else. Time of possession, 33-45 for the Patriots, 26-15 for the Dolphins. Kind of obvious. And then the penalties. Messy game. 12 for 75 for the Patriots, 10 for 65 for the Dolphins. And there was only 1 turnover, and it went to the Dolphins. So, rough one. Tua Tagovailoa, 26 of 32, 315 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Tyreek Hill had a 100-yard game finally, 6 for 109, plus he had a reception over 30 yards for the first time in a year for 47 yards. Devon Achane went 8 receptions, 92 yards, and a touchdown, which was an amazing touchdown run by him. Achane also carried 11 times for 30 yards, 2.7 yards per carry. You may want to use Ollie. I don't know. Devon Achane averaged 2.7 running the ball. Ollie averaged 8. You know, thunder and lightning. It's existed in the past. Do you think it's like something that we invented? No. Tyrell Dodson, by the way, had 9 tackles, 6 of them solo. Jordan Brooks had 8 of them, 4 solo, and a sack also in the process. The 3 sacks on the day were Jordan Brooks, Bradley Chubb, and Chop Robinson. All right. Let's see. I think Miami J Kidd is the next one on the super chat there. And he says, Tua time is up, Big O. I hope so, bro. I hope they trade him. I hope he goes somewhere else. He definitely doesn't deserve to be here at all. Just go somewhere else. They don't want him here. They can't support him here. So I'd rather him go somewhere else because all you're going to do is die here. So I'm with you, bro. Tua time is up. I hope he goes somewhere else to have success. That's what I hope, because nobody can succeed here. No quarterback will succeed with Mike McDaniel. This guy has two people that sabotage him constantly. Brian Flores directly and Mike McDaniel indirectly. So I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. All you haters of Tua, I'm on board. Not that I hate Tua, but I want him to go somewhere else because he'll never succeed here because they don't have the people here to help him. So since people here don't know how to build, what you need around a quarterback, like they didn't know how to do around Marino, nothing's changed. 45 years later, Don Shula couldn't figure it out. He had no idea that he had to build a dominant line and a running game for Marino. So I'm not surprised, dude. I'm with you guys there. All you Tua haters, I'm on board with you now. I want Tua out for different reasons. You hate him, I want him to go somewhere else. That's all, because it would be so Dolphins. It's what it would be, right? We could have had Breeze twice, and he only put up Hall of Fame numbers. We have a guy that led the league in touchdowns and yards and completion percentage, has been in the MVP race. It's so Dolphins for us to let him go, and he goes somewhere else where like Minnesota or something, and they know how to run the ball and defend and all that. It would be fantastic. So I am praying that Tua Tagovailoa gets traded. Praying that Tua Tagovailoa gets traded next year, since it'll be the year that it'll be the last year of the contract. So maybe halfway through the year next year, trading deadline or the off season, he could just go somewhere else, dude. I cannot wait. Seriously. Yeah, I'm all in with you guys out there that want to get rid of Tua. So do I, because it's what we deserve. You know what I mean? Because, of course, we're guaranteed, between Marino and Tua, we were so blessed with so many great quarterbacks. So I really want Tua to go. Yeah. I mean, look what happened in between Marino and Tua. That'll happen for the next, 25 years. I mean, dude, how spoiled can we all get? It's awesome. I mean, in between Marino and Tua, we were just fantastic at quarterback. So I'm with you guys. Please move Tua. Trade him. I need it badly. I love it. Yeah. I think it'll be fantastic if we trade Tua. I am 100% with all of you out there. You've convinced me on getting rid of Tua. So I'm with you guys out there. John Russell, remember when the Bucks Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott? That should be Ollie and Achane, right? Something like that. That would make sense. Howard Johnson says Saban knew how to use Tua. Well, that's why he won a championship, and the guy that won the championship in the NFL got kicked out of Alabama because obviously he's not half the passer that Tua is. So let's see, what else do we have? Zachary Gibbons, I will be a big fan of the team Tua goes to if he goes. So will I, actually, because I will be pushing for Tua. So Jay Fiedler won a playoff game, or did the defense and the running game win a playoff game? Because, hell, I think by the way, can you look? I think the playoff game he's talking about, Jay Fiedler rushed for touchdowns. Again, the one trait that I will give Wannstedt all the love, he believed in the run. That is what you got to have at least. So, Big O, who's second on your list for interim coaches? Don't waste my time with silly conversations, bro. It's only Weaver, and that's it. Dolphin Dave, when you have linebackers making all the tackles, you are in trouble. And when they've got to cover in space, you're also in trouble. If it wasn't for another dumbass hire, we'd have Burrow and Chase. Yeah, he's talking about the flow thing, that he didn't want to tank, and they would have ended up with Burrow, for those of you that aren't keeping up with John Russell's thinking, which he's right. I don't know about Jamar Chase, but yeah, you would have ended up with the number one pick if you just keep tanking. So, yes. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's see. What else do we have? Lofi, Tua, no one going to take him and his salary. They won't have to pay his salary after the year that they let him go. It'll be an adjusted salary. So, yeah, they will. Dude, he got his money already. He can do the same thing Baker did. You take a $20, $30 million contract, you prove yourself, and then they give you a fat contract. It's all the same bullshit. It all goes on all the time. So Baker got it, same thing. He goes somewhere where they actually know how to, run the ball and all those kind of things. It'll be a different day for him at least. That's fine. And it'll be fun to watch all the Tua haters for the Dolphin Nation. Then they'll get all frustrated. And then they'll all hide and say they never said that and then blame the team for trading away Tua or cutting him. That's the way it'll play out, because most of you are never stand up. You never come back and admit when you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? I can't hide anywhere. I'm here every day. So if I'm right or wrong, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. The Great Fear. Heard the Finn Ball Boys are having a ball boy only meeting. They're too embarrassed to volunteer yet another week. Thank you, the Greater Fear. Humble Legend, thank you for the love on the super chat. It's official now. The Big O Show is the only good thing the Finns fans have to look forward to this season. Oh, man. At least maybe we'll be talking about somebody getting fired next week. Leo T, if the team doesn't go with Weaver after the season, how do you feel about a college head coach? We'll get to that when it gets there. Right now, I'm just not talking about any of that stuff until it actually happens, man. It's useless right now about talking about any coach because we don't know who's available. Don't forget, folks, to please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very, very, very important that you smash the like button. Let's wrap it up here on the show. We thank, of course, the great Chris Perkins, David Furones. We thank the one and only Sean Stanley. Appreciate all of you out there for supporting us, hitting the like button, visiting our sponsors. If you made a donation on the Super Chat, Cash App, or Venmo, thank you very much. You can always, and you can still do it when you listen to the audio later on. Appreciate it as always. Thank you all out there for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button whenever you're also listening to the audio show, okay? That also helps out too. So whenever you're watching the videos, hit the notification bell. That way you know we go on live. We'll be on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm sure we'll be talking about this and many other issues. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
You've been listening to our Dolphins post-game show with Big O. The broadcast is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors, Toyota of Hollywood, Haineswear, Sloman's Home Security, BigCheeseMiami.com, EJD Construction. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Thank you for supporting the platform and our fantastic sponsors. Go Fins!